All right, so this video is a couple of little tips and tricks that I have for you guys. I've had a couple of install questions come up repeatedly from several customers who have been installing their kits and had a couple thoughts or questions or minor issues in installing it. So I wanted to walk you guys through a couple of tips that I have for you. Item number one is related to this part here on the screen. I've had a couple people mention that once they had the kit installed, the screen appeared to be leaning either left or right. And not the side to side angle that angles it toward the driver, but literally that it was unlevel. And took a little while to figure out what was going on there. And then I figured it out. What's happening is Tesla's on the back of the factory Tesla screen, there are these bosses that are cast into this outer cover. Those bosses are on slots, and you can see that the metal receiver that I include with the kit, see how that moves up and down? Well, the thing is, those slots are there in the screen to compensate for inaccuracies in these receivers here. However, the problem lies in if you end up having it installed with this part either leaning right or left, what that does is it moves the screen in or out on this 30-degree down angle, and it appears that the screen is then tilting left or right. So I mentioned this briefly in the video to have this pushed all the way down in the installation video, but what I neglect to mention is at times if you're tightening down one of the screws, as you tighten it, it can cock this mount either left or right. And then when the screen is installed, it'll appear to be leaning left or right. So make sure that it's pushed down nice and snug and hold it there with your thumb while you snug down both screws to make absolutely sure that it's all the way down toward the screen. So, or it could be all the way up this way. Just you don't want it cocked one way or another. I prefer to have it all the way down. But as long as it's not cocked left or right, that it's even across the back of the screen, that'll keep the tilt level with the dash. Secondly, these steel receivers. Those steel receivers from Tesla are really not all that accurate. This boss that is cast is very accurate, and the machined part that's shipped is extremely accurate in size, but these are just bent sheet metal that's then spot welded on the ends. And so this size can vary. Also, when it's snugged down, it squishes this metal down, and oftentimes it's a little bit tricky, wiggle the screen to get it out, but then oftentimes the aluminum mount installed with the shipped with the kit doesn't want to insert into these openings. And if that occurs, especially on the later model cars, a simple little file inside this opening, both at the bottom side and at the top side, mainly at the top side, I believe, you can get a small file, put it on your index finger, lay it flat against the top, and clean those burrs on the inside here. So run your finger inside there and make sure that it's nice and smooth, but running a file back and forth both on the top and the bottom of both of these, bottom and top, will allow that aluminum part to slide in. Go ahead and try to slide it in without filing it, but if you notice that it doesn't want to go in smoothly, then I've seen that's not all that uncommon, and you need to file out these openings to allow it to fit more smoothly. So, and again, that's just, these are made imprecise, as well as once it's snugged down from the factory, there's a squish that's imparted on these, and it makes it difficult to get that aluminum part in. So those are my two tips and tricks for the installation for you guys, and I look forward to hearing your impressions of the kit as you get it installed. Thank you.